YouTube, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Gunplay TV, and today on the table, as we can see, we have a product from the guys at Holosun. So this is a bit of a collaboration between Holosun and Primary Arms, utilizing their ACSS Vulcan reticle. So before we get into the box, I'm going to ask that you pause this video now, scroll down, take a look for that subscribe button. Once you found it, go ahead and give that a click for me. I do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get straight to the box.
Reach for the sky.
All right, so as we can see on the table, as I mentioned in the introduction, we have a product from Holosun and Primary Arms. Okay, and so this is the Holosun 509 RD ACSS R. Long story short, it's a Holosun 509, which we've seen previously on the channel. If you haven't seen that already, I will put my video up at the top, but it's featuring Primary Arms' ACSS reticle, right? And so that's the Advanced Combat Sighting System. They claim that they are the world's most advanced reticles. And long story short, right, it's going to provide bullet drop compensation for your standard 9mm rounds, as we can see here on the box. We'll zoom in on those, as well as a large, I believe it's a 250 MOA ring, which will essentially guide you back to center should you, for whatever reason, shift off of target and lose your dot. So we've taken a look at an ACSS Vulcan reticle previously on the channel. I'll put that up at the top as well. But recently, Holosun has brought that to the 509 line as well, which is one of their more popular closed emitter compact red dots, right? So in the box, of course, you're going to get your usual literature, which we never use. You've got a registration QR code, a quick breakdown again of the 250 MOA circle with the 10 MOA Chevron. And again, you're going to use different points on that Chevron for your bullet drop compensation at range. In addition to that, of course, you're going to get kind of the quick user guide. We're not going to use that once more. And as well as a microfiber cleaning cloth and some silica gel poison. Always nice to have. So in the box, we're presented with kind of standard Holosun presentation, if you will. So you've got your 509 ACSS there. You do have a plate included in the box, which will adapt to your standard Trigicon RMR footprint. Holosun's good for that. So it's nice to have this. Now this is a pretty heavy steel plate. So again, previously I've mentioned looking into aftermarket mounting options. In my mind, your optic's only as good as its mount. And so might be worth considering looking elsewhere. But again, good to have something like that in the box. Now, in addition to that, you are going to get your adjustment and tightening tool and I believe a spare battery. Oh no, spare screws for locking that down onto that plate. So I'm going to put all this aside. I'm going to keep it together because this is actually going back to Primary Arms, and I'll tell you guys why here in a second. So again, pretty standard 509 shaping. So you do have your, again, closed emitter. You got glass on one side and glass on the objective side as well. You are going to get multiple reticle options. Now with this particular optic, you're going to have the option to run your Chevron alone or with the 250 MOA circle, which I'd advise that you do. If you are presenting this properly, that 250 MOA circle is never going to be visible. At full extension on your pistol, you're not going to be able to see that. But if you are kind of off alignment for whatever reason, it's going to guide you back in. Was at the range earlier with the new shooter, and we found the ACSS to be quite good. Of course, we were using that on the 507. But neither here nor there, a very good reticle option. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why this is going back. As you guys know, I've been using the Holosun 509 for quite a while, and it's currently atop my SIG P320 AXG. Again, did a video on this. If you're interested in this firearm, please take a look. Up at the top, I've got a review of this and some comparisons to other firearms. But one thing we'll notice, again, this firearm is safe and empty. If you are of a keen eye, you will notice that one, the profile is a bit different, okay? And so that's the primary reason that I'm sending this back to Primary Arms, no pun intended. I do have a new toy on the way. We'll see a video of that as soon as it lands, I assure you. But this will not work with your standard 509 adapter plates, right? So I've got one from CHSS, I believe, quality plates. It's not going to accommodate this larger footprint. It's going to require a different mounting solution. So for the gun that I have on the way, there are no current plates for that. So that's reason number one. It's a bit bigger. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why Holosun didn't just keep that existing footprint and existing size, but they did what they did. And maybe just to accommodate the ACSS complexity, they were forced to change the size. Neither here nor there. The secondary reason I would say that I'm setting this back is because you might be able to see this here on camera, just in the way that the light hits these. but the ACSS unit is made of aluminum. Now, everything else, of course, is going to be largely the same. You still get the 10 daylight settings and 2 night vision settings. You are also going to get the push button for illumination, as you can see there on the side. You're going to get the IP67 waterproof rating, right? Again, it's still a closed emitter red dot, so you shouldn't have issues with getting dust and debris inside of your emitter and blocking your sight picture. But you are not going to get that T in the model nomenclature for titanium. So if you know anything about Holosun's red dots, they typically will suffix the name with T if it's going to be a premium or titanium housed optic. So let that say what it will. If that means something to you, you want a more durable material, you are not, at this time at least, going to be able to lean towards the ACSS Vulcan. Now again, as I said, all other things equal, you are still going to have your shake awake motion, which will essentially let this optic go to sleep after several minutes, and as soon as you pick it up, it's going to come back on. You are going to have the solar panel up top, which is going to not only supplant the battery when out in daylight, but also you have the option to adjust this optic's brightness automatically with the ambient light setting, so that's also nice. Again, the primary difference with this particular optic from the standard 509 is going to be the ACSS reticle from Primary Arms. Now, Dimitri, the guy that makes these or designs these reticles, more or less a genius as far as I'm concerned. They are quality reticles. I run an ACSS 1-6 on one of my ARs. I've taken it out to several courses and never had an issue at range. I love it. I just wish that the footprint would have stayed the same and that they would have continued to use the titanium construction. Kind of a letdown in my mind, but when you guys see what's coming, you will be understanding, I assure you. Now, to kind of give you guys a sight picture again, it is a red dot, so it should be parallax free. You should have no issues finding that sight picture, but I'm gonna see if I can get this up on the camera for you. All right, and so there, if I come closer to the camera, you will be able to see the ring. Now, if I punch out at the distance that would probably be more akin with a full extension with the pistol, you'll see that that ring is gonna disappear and we'll only have the chevron. But again, the idea with the ACSS Vulcan reticle is that if for whatever reason you are mispresented, you do have the ability to kind of use that circle to guide you back to center. And again, I was at the range earlier today where a new shooter found that very useful. So certainly a great design, just a bit of letdown to know that they changed the footprint and the construction material. So that's pretty much gonna be a wrap for the Holosun AT509RD ACSS-R. Very long name there, but of course the 509 with the ACSS reticle at the end of the day. Again, this is gonna go back to Primary Arms here immediately, but I did want to make sure I got it across the table, got you guys a quick look at that, and maybe a quick unboxing and maybe some fun facts for those of you that were considering this optic that did not know about the construction difference and the footprint difference. I know I did not until the optic was already in the mail on the way to me. So if you found this video educational, inspirational, or entertaining in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna ask that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And while you're at it, please leave a like and a comment. It really does help push these videos through the algorithm. And with all that being said, I'm gone.